Well, hey there. Welcome to the Paw Chronicles and more with Jim. Well, today I came out here this morning and I wanted to open up this area a little bit so I could see the grass. Had a lot of weeds in here. Wasn't able to see the trees that I had grafted this year. I have one that didn't take, and that was a Potomac. I have fiberglass rods here, and they're here for a reason. This graft right here is a Shenandoah. And as a lot of you know, I like to work with root suckers. And I have to say, I am very, very surprised at the growth. The graft took place down here, and here is the top. And that's really, really gotten a lot of growth. But now that it's exposed, what I want to do is brace it. It's looking good, but you know, this scion, the bud pushed out, and it's every bit as thick, if not thicker than the rootstock. I'm not seeing that out of that one back there or that one there, although I do intend to do a little bit of stabilization on them as well. These, as I said, were root suckers. Right there is a remnant of the stump, a wild tree that I had cut down, and it generated root suckers when I cut it down. And I like utilizing root suckers for grafting stock. They tend to do very well, especially if you leave them in the ground right where they're at. Back here, I can see where the ground had been disturbed. This is where I had dug up other root suckers and transplanted down that way for next year's grafting. These two will be dug up and relocated, but we're going to wait until they go dormant before I do that. They were cut loose last fall, as I had showed, I believe, in a previous video. So, without further ado, let's see if we can't get this stabilized. Now I'm using a white construction tape. I don't want to use a dark color, because dark color attracts heat. The white doesn't attract the heat like the dark color does. And I'm going to pick a nice long rod, the longest one I got. And this is fiberglass. It's not going to break in the wind. It's not going to decay. That'll outlast me, that's for sure. We're going to set it right beside the tree, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap the bottom. Lay the grass out of the way. And I'm not wrapping it tight, I'm just wrapping it enough to give me what it is I'm after, and that's just stability. Now I'm wrapping it up the shank. If I just wrap it and tie it off in one spot, well, there's a spot right there, snap. We want to try and wrap this up to where it ain't going nowhere, but not choke it out. And I'll give her one more wrap. Okay, we got the bottom stabilized. Now let's try to work on the top a little bit. And one thing I am going to do is, so I have room to get in here to do what I want to do, this one leaf. Take it off. It gives me room to get the tape in there. But once again, I'm not doing it tight, I'm not pulling on it, I'm just getting it in there to hold it in place, because it's going to continue to try and grow. We want to give it room to grow, but at the same time we want to give it the protection it needs. And then we're going to tie it off as well. There. That'll help stabilize that little tree. Wind's blowing through here, it could push off that grass because we've got a lot of canopy that can grab the wind, and it's looking good. Man, I really love the way that little tree looks. We've got one right there, that's an SAA overlease, and by the way, these were all grafted on May 11th of this year, and man, I have to say I'm very, very pleased at the growth I'm getting out of them. And I'm going to go ahead and get these stabilized right here and then take a look at the other ones. I have an IXL up there, and I've got canopus. Top of it broke out, but I still have a little bit left. And I had the stake right there that held the fence, and I'm going to try and stabilize it to that stake, and hopefully it don't break out again. Anyways, just something that I wanted to show you that I'm up to, you know. Don't graft and forget about them. Take care of them. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome.